Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another summer update video. Yeah, it's 2020, the year that Corona hit everything. Ugh. This year has been absolutely nuts. I think you guys can all agree, without me really needing to say much, that this year has been absolutely mental so far. Coronavirus has definitely messed up a lot of our plans. And I don't want to talk about it too much in this video because that's not the main focus of this video. I'm basically just going to be talking about some stuff that's happened this academic year, just to reflect on a few things, mainly to do with my personal life and also the channel. And also I'm going to be giving a few shout outs and talking about stuff that is coming to the channel in a little while. So let's get started. So of course, I have just finished my second year of university, and I gotta say it has been fantastic. I've passed, I've got all my exams, they're all sorted. I had 6 modules this year, and I got 5 firsts out of all of them and 1 2-1. So overall that is a first for this year, so I did very well for myself, if I say so myself. I didn't do as well as I did last year, and the reason for that is, as I explained in the Christmas video, I knew I wasn't going to do as well because second year there's no doubt second year is harder than first year. You have to deal with a lot more stuff. It kind of seems a bit ridiculous at times, but there is a lot more stuff you have to deal with in second year. I've also started working a lot harder as well, not just in terms of my studies, but also I actually had to continue my kitchen job in the university kitchens, making food for students, just to kind of keep my rent going. So obviously I had to divert a lot of my time away from the music and from the channel more towards my studies, but it was still very difficult. It was still much harder for me personally. But I have to thank everybody for helping me through second year. I have to thank my 4 housemates and all of their friends as well. It's been fantastic this year, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, the coronavirus has definitely thrown a lot of things out of the window. So basically back in March was kind of when I first started to hear about it, and late March, just before my birthday, a decision came about where I had to go home. And this is where I've been literally for the past few months. I've been here in this house for a long time, and I just hate being here like any longer than I have to. It's been, I'm pretty sure it's been longer than like 10 weeks, and which is a ridiculous holiday length. So I've been here from late March, and I'm going to be here until about mid-September. So that's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's pretty mad. That's pretty mad just being in this house and just kind of being, I feel like I've been cooped up in this house for a while. And the thing is, it's not my fault. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware it's not my fault. I'm not trying to come up with excuses, but I feel like the coronavirus is the biggest excuse you could come up with for anything like this, because I've not really had the option to go out and do stuff because we've been told not to. To keep the world safe, we have all had to stay at home and just kind of think of new things to do whilst we're at home. But luckily I've had plenty to do at home, and of course I'm going to be talking about my music this year. That's kind of unrelated to what I've been doing at home, but I have been making music at home, and I will get to that, I promise. But yeah, basically most of this video I'm going to be talking about the music that I've made this year on the channel and the stuff that we've done on the channel. So a lot of stuff has happened on the channel this year. So last year we made 36 tracks during first year. This year I made 38 tracks. So that's 32 original tracks, 5 remixes, and 1 remix, one person's remix of my track, which was the Ghost God Dragon Tree remix. And I'm also counting Ultracore V2, the upgraded edition of Ghost God, Scrap God V4, and Sickness, the VP vocal edit of Sickness, as separate tracks. So that's 38 tracks this year, more than first year. And I'm not going to lie, I really didn't think that was going to happen. I genuinely didn't think I would make more than the tracks that I made in my first year. My initial goal was to try and beat the number of tracks that I made for my first year Megamix. And as I was going through second year, I was thinking to myself, there is no way in hell, from all the work that I've got to do, there's no way I'm going to be able to beat that number of tracks. But recently, of course, because of the pandemic, I've had a lot more time to focus on music, so I was able to catch up with the tracks I wasn't able to make because of lost time and because of just being busy with uni life, because I'm not going to lie, it is very busy with the stuff that I've had to do. But I'm really pleased as to the amount of work I've put into the channel this year, especially now that I've had the chance. So yeah, as I said, I really didn't think it was going to happen, but I'm very glad that it has. We've also released 2 EPs back to back. We released Escape, which has hit more than 700 streams. which I'm really pleased about. It's something that I didn't expect to blow up, but of course, being a lo-fi EP, I feel like a lot of people, would have taken a lot more interest to it, and I was right, and they have, so I'm not complaining there. We also released Upgrades, which was very quickly released after Escape, and that was done a bit quicker because 3 of the tracks were already pretty much done. I just kind of needed to redo 2 of them, and that has had just over 80 streams. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but here's the thing. Last year, I released Absolute, which was my first EP, and that has only just hit 100 streams, right? That obviously doesn't sound very good, but considering Upgrades has almost hit that same number of streams in a fraction of the time, that's actually not bad. So I'm really pleased with how Upgrades is doing so far. Knowing that it's EDM, I knew it wasn't going to do as well as the lo-fi stuff. But speaking of the lo-fi stuff, He Won't Talk, which was a track that I did with Flo, has been my first track to hit 1,000 streams on Spotify, and I'm really pleased to kind of realize that and say that, and like that's been absolutely fantastic. It's great as well because it's such an important track to both of us, because it talks about depression, which is a very deep and very real issue in the world today, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make a track about it. But the fact that it was like a chill hop lo-fi track as well, people really got to grips with it. They really enjoyed the the chilled out vibe. They thought it was really smooth. They liked the mix. Most people did anyway, and they they added it to their playlists, and yeah, it's been fantastic. The responses to that has been amazing, and I'm so glad that that track has done as well as it's done. I'm really proud of Flo for where he's come today, because he started uploading as well. I'm going to do a few shout-outs at the end, so don't worry. I'm going to talk about some people far towards the end, but we'll get there. And of course, we have also hit more than 100 followers on Spotify, so yeah, that's another great thing. It feels like ages ago when I used to get barely like 30 monthly listeners. As of recording this right now, we have just hit 400 monthly listeners, which is fantastic. That's something that I really didn't expect to reach for quite a long time. Now here's the thing, back in January, I remember that was the first time that I hit 100 monthly listeners, because I was putting a lot of effort into the promotion of He Won't Talk, and that did very well, as I said. But obviously after I hit 100 monthly listeners, the monthly listeners just started to drop, because even though I was releasing new stuff, it wasn't as popular and it wasn't allowing me to grow. In fact, the monthly listeners was shrinking, which was obviously very disheartening to see. And I'm pretty sure it shrunk all the way back down to like 50 monthly listeners. But to see me now consistently getting more than 400 streams a month, I'm really pleased as to how far we've come, and it motivates me a lot to continue going with work. With what I'm producing right now. We also released 6 Megamixes. That was just something I wanted to do because it was just to help pad out the channel a little bit. I didn't want to have to consistently upload original mixes. I thought, you know what I can do? I can help. I can continue to upload stuff without making like loads of new content by kind of just making compilations of my music, which made a lot more sense to me. So I decided to take some of my best stuff, or stuff that fit together, and stitch them together into mega mixes. Like for example, the chill hop. What is it? I think it's like a December chill out mega mix or something like that. There's also the first year mega mix, which is obviously not to do with this year as such. But my favourite mega mix this year has definitely got to be the Lockdown mega mix, which is mine and Black Winter's. It's basically a mix with our tracks, but they like alternate, so that it will play my track first, and then his track, and then another one of my tracks, and etc. That's one of my favourite mixes, just because I love the variation in sounds. And also I did it because I wanted to help promote Black Winter, because as I will say in a minute, he's a very talented artist who definitely needs a lot more recognition for his work. Now, the reason why I've been growing a lot more on Spotify and other platforms is because I've actually been promoting my stuff a lot more. As I said last year when I released Absolute, it didn't do very well at all. And the reason for that is because I just never promoted it. I just never ever promoted the track, and it was a very silly thing for me to do. Like, it's a really stupid mistake for any producer or any artist or any creative person to try and do, right? If you just post your stuff and do not promote it anywhere, right, you can't expect it to grow. And I did. I expected it to grow and kind of get people to listen to it. I thought people would find it and listen to it and enjoy it, but nobody did, because nobody would search for me, because Spotify and other platforms like YouTube and SoundCloud are so saturated. There's no way people are just going to find you through hashtags, for example. So the best thing to do is to promote your stuff as much as you can. You have to stay on a very consistent promotion grind, and that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been using mainly a platform called Submit Hub, which is basically a website where you can submit your music on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc. to different playlist curators who will repost it on SoundCloud. They will upload it to their YouTube channels. They will add your stuff to their Spotify playlists. They will mention you on their blog posts, on their website. It's just stuff like that to help get your music out there. You can also put your stuff into chats for basically different users, so you can react to people's stuff. You can react to other people's tracks, and then you can give your feedback, and then you can promote your stuff so they can give feedback on your stuff, and it kind of works in a cycle. And if people really like your stuff, they will go out of their way to follow you, and it's just a more personal way of getting in touch with people. I've also started adding people to a playlist which I created called the Creators Lounge, which is a Spotify playlist with loads and loads of different people's stuff. The reason why I did it is mainly just to get followers. I'm not even going to lie. I do it because I want to help promote people, but I also do it because it benefits me to have extra followers on Spotify. So what I do is, this was kind of a strategy I adopted a little while ago. I kind of publicly shout out that I'm going to make a playlist for people to put their stuff on. They then privately message me saying that they want to put their stuff on my playlist. So I say to them, you can do it. I will add your stuff to my playlist if you follow me on Spotify. They follow me, I add their stuff to my playlist, and everybody wins at the end of the day. It's just the best outcome for all of us. I get followers, they get plays, it's brilliant, everybody wins. So yeah, that's just something that I've been doing as well, and it's definitely improved the attention that I've been getting on platforms. So in terms of promotion, things have been very well. I've also started promoting a lot more stuff on Instagram, more specifically within Instagram group chats. So now there are group chats of us where we will stream different playlists every day to help us get streams, and the same goes for YouTube playlists as well. We will stream YouTube playlists to try and get us a bit more attention on the platform, especially if we are mainly YouTube creators, which I am. But the reason why it's important for Spotify as well is because I don't get money from people following me on Spotify. I get money from people listening to my stuff on Spotify. Streaming my stuff on Spotify is what gets me that revenue, right? So even if they're not following me, if they're just streaming my stuff, then I've got no complaints. So, and that is also one of the reasons why He Won't Talk has finally reached 1,000 streams. It is because it has been on playlists where people are just consistently listening to it and streaming it, and occasionally it will attract people to follow if they really do enjoy the content. That has happened in the past, and that is also why the channel has spiked a little bit, which I will talk about. To help pad out the channel, I've been starting to make a lot more variated content. So for example, I have also made a new podcast for the channel, which is the Mind the Music podcast. We've currently released 3 episodes, and we're going to be releasing more on the way. We've also made some other content, like for example the Scrapped Projects 2 video. We've also made a top 10 VST effects plugin video, and also some other meme related videos like the vote-coded version of Bushworld Adventures and the lockdown videos, stuff like that. That just helps pan out the channel and make it a bit more interesting. You might say that it makes me lose my identity a little bit when I'm not just purely uploading music, but then at the same time I'm going to upload whatever I want because it's my channel, and if people enjoy that content and if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. So that's all there is at the end of the day. Also, another big announcement, we've upgraded our music software. We have upgraded from Mixcraft 8 to Mixcraft 9 with a bunch of new features. We have a bunch of brand new plugins, effects, synths. We have more than 20,000 samples to play around with. Plus we have a new microphone, a Blue Snowball, which I've mentioned in one of the previous podcasts. We have a new MIDI keyboard, and we've just in general got some new gear to mess around with. So the production level on the channel is going to go up from here onwards, and so far it has, which I will come to. BBC Essex have also broadcast a few tracks of ours this year. So they've broadcast Rush Gold Edition, they broadcast the VP, the Mac vocal edit of Sickness, and they also broadcast Influx 2. Now I know Influx 2 was a first year track, but it was only broadcast during second year, and only recently actually, so I'm going to count that. Last year, in my summer update video, I did a very brief top 10 about all the tracks that I really enjoyed, with number 1 being Rise Again. This year, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be leaving that until Christmas, but I will leave a few honourable shout-outs, because of course there are a lot of tracks I've done this year, 38 in total, as I said. But there are a few that I really enjoyed. So, as you can probably tell from looking at the channel, I really enjoyed doing Ghost God. That was a great track to do, and I spent all day doing it. I've talked about it in the first Mind the Music podcast, but it's basically led to a lot of descendants like Scrap God Spicy Edition, the Dragon Tree remix, the Retro remix, the Ghost Squad, which was a Megamix, and just stuff like that. And that was a very enjoyable track to do, but that's going to stop now. I'm not going to touch that anymore. I also really enjoyed Ultracore V2, the new edition of Ultracore, which is present in upgrades. The reason why I redid it was because I wasn't happy with the original version, so I thought I'd give it a bit of a touch up. Beholder was also a very enjoyable track for me to do. It had a very good mix. Wild Night featuring Lisa Shetner was a fantastic track. It was a great house track that I did. It didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to, in terms of actually making the track. But then once the track was finished and all the vocals were in place and it was mastered, the actual production of the video definitely took a lot longer. But that's another story, and it's been released now. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description, as well as the Spotify link as well. So you guys can stream it and watch the video if you want to. It's a very enjoyable track, but unfortunately, as much as I enjoyed all of these tracks, there is one track that stands out for me most, and that is Forever by Black Winter featuring my vocals. The reason why it stands out was because it was just so beautiful to listen to, and also because I got to do the vocals in my university's music studio, which I haven't had the chance to do for a long time. Because I'm still part of the Music Production Society, we now have access to the music studio in the university, which is a really nice space to be able to record stuff, especially vocals of course, because they have very high quality microphones, and they also have access to Logic Pro 10, which is something I haven't used in a long time. We're also very close to reaching 200 subscribers on the channel, which is a great milestone. We're currently, as of recording this, we're on 193 subscribers. So obviously that means we only need 7 more to hit 200, and of course if we do hit 200, I'm going to make a 200 subscriber special track. It's not going to be as big as Rise Again, but I can assure you the quality will definitely be a lot higher. One of the biggest things I wanted to talk about was stuff that's coming up on the channel in the future. So of course we'll still be releasing videos when I go back to finish my last year of uni. But obviously this video is coming out next, and then after this video is going to be the long anticipated second year Megamix. I have been looking forward to releasing this for a long time. I think you guys are really going to enjoy the variation of music that's there, because it's actually a lot more variated than the first year Megamix. There's a lot more stuff. There's not just EDM, house, deep house, bass house, Electro-House. There's also future bass, there's drum and bass, there's dubstep, there's hip-hop, there's lo-fi. There's a huge variety of stuff, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I think you guys might enjoy the cover art as well. That was really enjoyable for me to do as well. Okay, and then after the second year Megamix, I'm then going to release Brainiac, which is the first third year track. I'm seriously looking forward to it. It is a very high energy, gritty, aggressive and energetic dance track, and you guys are absolutely going to love it. It is the start of the new era on the channel, because it is basically the next level of quality on my channel. So yep, I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I know it's not everybody's style, but that is basically what the channel is focused on. So as I said, I really hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And then I'm going to release another top 10 VST video, but instead of effects plugins, it's going to be synth plugins. So I'm going to talk about various synth plugins, for example, Kyra Tune or Tau Noisemaker or Tau Bassmaker. They're basically different synth plugins that allow you to play MIDI notes in your work, and it's the biggest part of EDM at the end of the day. The biggest part of EDM is the really cool sound design that you can get from synthesizers, and I'm going to be doing a top 10 on that later on, so hopefully that will do just as well as the last video that I did, which was a top 10. And then after that, I didn't plan on releasing this, but I'm actually going to be releasing Sickness 2. Yep, that's coming soon as well. Basically what I've done is I've taken my vocals, I've taken VP's vocals, stitched them together, I've re-recorded my vocals using the new microphone, and I've remixed the track a little bit. I've rebalanced a lot of the elements in the track to make it a bit more, just to make it better essentially, to make it mixed better. And I've also changed the cover art completely. I've changed the visuals. It's just generally an upgrade in terms of the previous tracks. So I think you guys will really enjoy that as well. It's definitely a nice change of pace from doing EDM all the time. Then I'm going to do another episode of Mind the Music. That's going to focus on breakdowns, which is the part of an EDM track after the drop, the nice atmospheric change that you get, because I feel like that definitely needs some attention. And then after episode 4 of Mind the Music, the next track I'm going to release is going to be a big one, but I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. Some of you will already know the name because I have shared the cover art with you. But I think you're really going to enjoy this. If Brainiac doesn't set the standard for the channel, then this new track that's coming definitely will. Then after that, I'm going to release a video talking about why I use Mixcraft 9, because I imagine a lot of people watching this video who are producers will probably use software like FL Studio, Ableton, Logic Pro or other more professional studios, and the reason why I use Mixcraft 9 is a bit of a strange one, but I'll come to that when I make the video. And then after that I'll probably do some more music. I've got some more tracks coming along that are in development at the moment. I've also got some collaborations coming as well, which I'm also very much looking forward to. And yeah, so after that it will probably be a bit fuzzy as to what I do, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I hope you guys enjoy the lineup of what's coming. The new music is going to be amazing. There will probably be some Megamixes as well at some point, but we'll see about that. I'm not as inclined to do the Megamixes because they're not as important to the channel, but I just do them to help pan out the channel. So yeah. Right, okay, so just before I end the video, I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. Black Winter, very, very talented EDM artist who's recently got himself signed to a lot of different labels like Denner Records and After Present Records as well. He definitely needs a lot more attention on social media because his work is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to leave his links in the description, as well as everybody else's that I shout out. Lisa Shetner, very, very talented vocalist who did the vocals for Wild Night. She did all the work for the music video, and I'm going to leave a link to that in the description as well. Very, very pleased with how that's come out. She should be very proud. Very, very, very positive comments. I'm very pleased as to how that's turned out, so thank you so much for that. Flo and VP the Mac as well for doing SoundCloud Wannabe. Thank you so much for that, guys. George, who mastered Scrap God Spicy Edition for me. Thank you very much for that. And of course, Dragon Tree for the remix of Ghost God. So that's pretty much everything I'm going to mention in this video. I really hope you guys enjoy the upcoming content as much as I do, or as much as I will eventually when it comes out. I'm really hoping you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye!